Dummy Defense, a game that gives you the experience of what happened during World War II. You kill noobs, guests, or even yourselves, but you may be wondering what brought out this conflict. Why are they fighting? Then, welcome to this video of explaining the lore of Dummy Defense. Let's get into it. Before the war, the dummies lived like us. Families, jobs, friendships, all that wholesome stuff. They had prosperity, freedom, and apparently no clue what was coming. Take Raina, for example. A former college girl with combat skills so sharp she could probably ace exams and stab you in the same breath. Discipline, intelligence, precision. Basically the kind of person you don't want as your enemy. Then there's Zeri and Andre. Siblings, bonded by love but split by factions thanks to their parents' drama. Zeri's the compassionate one, Andre's the strong, generous one, but put them together and you get arguments louder than a doomspire explosion. And don't forget the squad, Markov, Luck, Birdie, and Fremor, a tight-knit group of friends who had known each other for years. Markov had the leadership chops, Luck was basically addicted to fighting, Birdie could fix anything with gears and wires, and Fremor, well, Fremor was just there, vibing. These are just a few examples of dummies who had perfected lives before everything went downhill. But let's be real, peace never lasts. And now, we move to the next section, where things get messy.
Their arrival marked the beginning of our world's downfall. We lost everything, our homes, our jobs, our families, even our freedom. The Noob are a powerful alien force believed to come from another galaxy, possessing technology far more advanced than ours. Their reason for invading our world was simple. The three powerful crystals found on our planet. At first, our leaders attempted peaceful negotiations with their ambassadors. But we didn't take long to realize that these beings never intended to cooperate. They were never worthy of being entrusted with the crystals. After rejecting their demands, the Noob immediately launched a full-scale assault to seize the crystals. The war happened fast. Too fast. And we were defeated just as quickly.
And then the war began. The dummies fell first, and the noobs wasted no time marching in to claim territory like they were speedrunning world domination. Every corner of the planet was under attack. Some survived, but countless lives were lost. The dummies knew the stakes, protect the crystals or lose everything. These weren't just shiny rocks. They were the hypnotized crystals, the cloner crystals, and the dreaded D-dimension crystals. The hypnotized crystals, mostly chilling in Alaska, northern Canada, and Greenland. Touch one and congratulations, you're dizzy, insane, and probably screaming at walls. The cloner crystals, found in Europe, safe to touch, and they duplicate you like a bad Roblox exploit. That's why you can drop multiple dummies in a match. But the real nightmare, the D-dimension crystals, deposits in Russia, Europe, even Brazil. They give you strength, size, and aggression, basically turns you into a raging beast. These crystals are exactly what the noobs are after, and it's up to the dummies to stop them. Because if the noobs get their hands on the crystals, it's game over not just for the dummies, but for the entire world.
Looks like another invader has arrived right after we finally defeated the G-Noob. From what we've heard from both the noobs and these new intruders, they call themselves guests. Judging from what little we know, it seems the noobs and the guests once fought on the same side. This was completely unexpected, and worse, these guests appear to have technology just as powerful, terrifying, and advanced as the noobs. This is bad. Really bad. Since the guests share similarities with the dummies, it's possible we might already have a guest spy within our own bases. The Alaska base is already falling to the guests. We haven't received any communication from them at all, and that base held one of the crystals they're desperately searching for. God. Even after the Scale and Block tribes came to help, nothing has improved. Everything is getting worse. I just hope our new Titan dummy project is completed before the guests find us first.
The dummies thought they could finally chill after clapping the G-Noob. Out of nowhere, these dudes called guests pulled up. Not your friendly visitors. Nah, these guys are like the shady cousins who show up uninvited and eat all your food. They've tangled with the noobs before, chasing the same shiny gold, the crystals. And this time, they didn't just knock politely. They straight up invaded, snatching chunks of the planet like it was a free buffet. Their tech, way beyond anything the dummies had ever seen. Imagine cavemen suddenly facing Wi-Fi and laser cannons. Yeah, that level of disrespect. So the dummies had to call in the big guns. The second. G-Noob was stomping through their defenses like it was a speedrun, and the poor guys had nothing to fight back with. So what did they do? They pulled out their secret weapon, Fremor, the Mk-1 Titan dummy. Fueled by the crystals, he was the first Titan, basically the prototype Titan built to throw hands with G-Noob. And yeah, he fought. He fought hard, but G-Noob wasn't exactly playing on easy mode. Fremor didn't last long before getting clapped. Fast forward to the guest war. Out of nowhere, rumors spread. Fremor was back. Revived by the Now the dummies had their long-lost Titan again, but the real question is, did the Sphere faction really revive him, and how are Titan dummy? This beast was strong enough to smack the guests around, but here's the plot twist. The guests weren't even playing fair. Turns out, while the Titan was busy flexing, the guests were cooking up something else in the background. And just like that, the dummies realized, no rest, no peace, only endless chaos.
General Credos. How have you been? It's me, Fearon, lead scientist of the Guest faction. You seem to be having quite a problem with this dummy war of yours, huh? Don't worry. I've got something that should work perfectly on those foolish dummies. You remember the incident where my guest soldiers raided the dummy base in Alaska, right? Yeah. Those weaklings never stood a chance. We broke through their traps and pushed straight into the inner base. And it looks like we found a certain type of crystal in there. The substance inside that crystal can manipulate living bodies, so I decided to test it with an old project of mine, the control device. And unbelievably, it worked. The device can completely control the person wearing it, and they will obey anyone holding the control transmitter. Tell me, General Credos, are you thinking what I'm thinking? If we can separate Titan Block and Titan Scale from each other, and take control of their elder brother, the Titan Scale dummy, wouldn't that be perfect?
Greetings, my name is Reyna, Colonel General Dummy, in charge of diplomatic resources and area defense planning. We have received reports from several bases about guest spies who have managed to infiltrate the bases because they closely resemble dummies, making them difficult to detect and screen. Furthermore, when guest spies are caught, they often themselves rather than be captured, resulting in numerous I recommend making the screening of people entering the base more rigorous and developing a device to detect their ethnicity. Next is a report on faction Dravenix from the planet Veltraxis. We encountered this faction when our soldiers found a tablet-like device that had been left open, containing information about their planet. So we connected that device to a large transmitter that we had secretly built and used it to locate that planet until we found it. They look very similar to the Dummy faction, but the difference is that their skin is red. They possess highly advanced technology, which I believe can easily defeat the Noob faction. We sent a message to the Dravonics, and it looks like they responded as well. This allowed us to exchange scientific information. However, what was concerning was that they reported that the Noob faction, which had taken over our world, had also invaded their planet. They call this war the Noob Battalion and say that the Noob faction is much more dangerous than they had thought, which surprises me because, according to the base defense reports, the Noobs are not capable of fighting us very well, and the technology of the Noob faction when they invaded our world was no more dangerous than the technology of the Dravonix people. However, it made me immediately change my mind based on the video footage they sent us, which showed Noob combat aircraft we had never seen before. There were also a large number of Noob soldiers, and their gear was truly highly advanced. This might be because the Noob soldiers looked weak on Earth, because their true forces were invading Veltraxis. So we sent them various strategies for fighting the Noobs, explaining their weaknesses as much as we could help. However, over the past period, we received almost no response from Veltraxis until November 2nd, 2025, when we received another message from Veltraxis, which was a pending message. Veltraxis and the people of Dravenix cannot protect against the evil threat of the Noobs, and if you are seeing this message, we Dravenix have all perished. And the message concluded by saying that all the Noob forces we had encountered were on their way to your planet, Earth. And after another day, there were reports of attacks from multiple bases, and reports from our Titans that in Berlin, Germany, a giant mothership-class spacecraft has appeared, along with General Noob and numerous combat aircraft. Therefore, I would like to warn you to try to upgrade your bases as well. And even if you can still defend against the enemies, they will continue to grow stronger, and you must never let the day come when the enemies are stronger than your bases. I hope everyone's safety.
The Noobs, an army of beings so incompetent they somehow managed to conquer a planet. Stronger, faster, and infinitely more annoying than anyone expected. It's like watching toddlers with flamethrowers. You don't know whether to laugh or panic. And then there's General Noob. Yes, that's his actual name. Imagine being so legendary in your own stupidity that your nickname is just Noob. That's peak branding right there. But wait, the chaos doesn't stop. The Dravonics, who were supposed to handle things, completely botched it, and now the Noobs are running wild. Honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
My ears burn!
Let's talk about the dummy factions, the so-called primary races that once ruled the world. First, the dummy faction itself. The global majority, half the population, brainy as hell, and the main military force against noobs and guests. Basically, the nerds with guns. Then you've got the scale dummies. Raw physical power, fearless, absolute determination. The kind of people who charge into battle shirtless just to prove a point. Next up, the block dummies. Wizards in disguise, teleporting through black smoke like edgy anime villains. They're rare, mostly chilling in Asia, but when they show up, you know magic, about to get messy. Now the extinct ones, the sphere dummies. Peace-loving mediators who vanished right before the invasion. Suspicious timing, if you ask me. The cylinder dummies. Combat beasts but backstabbers by nature. They betrayed each other so hard during the Second Racial War that they wiped themselves out. Peak self-sabotage. And finally, the wedge dummies. Weakest race, spread everywhere, peace-loving allies of the scales. But when the first racial war hit, they couldn't organize, couldn't fight, and got deleted from history. So yeah, the dummy world wasn't just sunshine and crystals. It was factions, betrayals, and extinction events waiting to happen. And if you think the noobs were the only threat, think again. The dummies were already tearing themselves apart long before the war. Now the final question some people are asking. Who are we? What character do we represent in the story? We are the commander. For you guys who don't know who's a commander, well, he or she that is in a position of authority or official command. The commander is the highest level of authority in the military, but why were we picked as the commander? My theory is that we are the ones who started the rebellion against the noobs and encouraged other factions to do so. That's why in the lobby, when anyone sees us, they treat us with respect. So that's the story of Dummy Defense. By the time I'm editing this section, it's 10:21 p.m. and I am really tired. In case I made some mistakes, type in the comments. Also, this isn't the end of the story. There's still more we yet to see, but that would be on future updates of the game. If you watch this video till the end, thank you. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the announcement video.